All right, y'all. So today, this is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. But what I'm going to discuss could potentially change the way you trade for the better. And it not only will change the way you trade, but it could potentially extend into other areas of your life and just make you overall more productive, staying at the top of your game always. And this is something I get asked about a lot from a lot of people in the Discord on YouTube. They're like, Jason, how are you able to stay so balanced? How to stay at the top of your game? Now, let me just make a quick caveat before we start the video, which is to say, what I'm about to share, I do not always adhere to 100%. In fact, it's a constant struggle and a battle to stay, to basically stay on the path that I'm about to outline for you in this video. But I will say that these principles, okay, the following information that I'm going to share when adhered to works very, very well for me, right? And I do believe that this can work very, very well for other people as well. But I also want to say that this could look very different from person to person. So the underlying principles I'm about to share, I believe, can apply to everybody. How that actually looks from person to person can vary. So I get asked all the time from people. They're like, Jason, how do you balance everything? I mean, you're a Bitcoin trader. You're always trading Bitcoin. You're a salesman. You're a businessman, right? I am a businessman. I have a business. I'm a Bitcoin trader. I'm a homesteader, right? I'm always out there driving trucks with my chickens, holding my roosters, riding my tractors, right? I'm a father. I have kids, right? I'm a jacked power lifter. How do I do it all, guys? How do I balance all these things? It really is shocking. It's shocking. And basically, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to break down how I am able to balance these things and how I stay at the top of my game where I feel like I'm totally in the groove of everything when it comes to trading, when it comes to family life, when it comes to work life, right? And for me, guys, it really comes down to the foundation of everything for me is a routine. Okay, so if you want to be a consistent trader, you have to be in the groove. That's the best way I can describe it, being in the groove. And I'm not just talking about being in the groove at the charts and entering your trades, but for me, I always trade best when I'm in the groove at life, right? Routine is so important. Obviously, a great technical analysis routine is important, but in my opinion, a great technical analysis routine, a great trading routine begins with a good life routine. So for me, before I even get to the charts, okay, I have a routine that I do that prepares me for the routine at the charts, and I call it my life routine. Now, what is a life routine? A life routine is where you do the same thing at the same time every single day, and the purpose of doing the same thing at the same time every single day is that you have identified that doing these things prepares your mind and your body and your spirit for the work that you have to do that day. And you've also identified the fact that doing these things makes you more efficient and proficient. Okay, now I've divided this routine into 3 sections, right? The spiritual, the mental, and the physical. I am a firm believer that we as human beings, created in the image of God, have to always address the health of these 3 things, these 3 aspects of who we are. Because if we do not have good spiritual health, that is going to flow into our mental and physical health. If we don't have good mental health, that is going to flow into our physical health. A great example of this is if you are depressed, right? How is that going to flow into your physical health? Well, it's true scientifically, allegedly, right? I'm not a scientist. But I've read a number of books on this, and this is even a biblical principle. So a man thinketh, as a man thinketh, so he is. If you are depressed, if you are angry all the time, that is going to have a negative impact on your physical health because you're going to be releasing hormones and chemicals that are not going to be good for the other systems in your body. In addition, if you're depressed, if you're tired, right? you are not going to make good decisions when it comes to, let's say, your diet, when it comes to your physical exercise and stuff like that, right? You're probably going to spend more time on the couch eating more junk comfort foods, and that is going to have a negative impact on your physical health. And in turn, when your physical health is not good, that is going to then, it's a vicious cycle, right? When you don't feel good physically, it's hard to feel good mentally. It's hard to feel good spiritually. And so for me, at the beginning of my day, I always have to start with, first of all, prayer. Prayer is very important. And I know not everybody is religious. That's totally fine. However you identify with spirituality, and of course, I don't endorse spirituality besides, a relationship with Jesus, the Messiah, God in the flesh, but I know everybody has a different viewpoint, and that's fine. So however you identify with spirituality, you need to make sure that you are grounded every single day in the fact that there is something that transcends yourself. There is something that transcends this world. There is something that transcends humanity. Because having that perspective right out of the gate will not only give you a positive outlook on life, because you understand that, whatever happens in that day, there is a purpose for your life that is greater than the here and now. And this really helps orient and ground me for the rest of the day. Also being very thankful, full of gratitude to the Lord for everything that He's blessed me with. Not just physical things, but so many things that He's blessed me with. Gratitude, thankfulness, focusing on those things first thing in the morning will definitely then put you into a good mental state and get you excited and happy to be alive. Now, for me, when I focus on the Lord, the things He's done for me, when I thank Him, that puts me in a really great mental state, which then extends out to my physical state, right? And so now I've woken up, I'm in a great mental state because I have oriented myself, focused on the things that are truly important. And then immediately after I pray, I go and I do some physical exercise, okay? And what this does, the physical exercise, not only is it good for the body, but it's good for the mind because you're releasing endorphins, you're releasing dopamine, you're releasing adrenaline, and these things put you into a positive mindset. And so when I am in this positive mindset, that is when I come to the charts to do my technical analysis, okay? And so when you are coming to the charts to do your TA, I recommend that you come there fresh. Whatever you have to do to get into that positive mindset, that fresh, excited to be alive mindset, you have to do that, okay? Because if you come to the charts and you're down, if you're tired, if you're foggy headed, you are not going to be sharp. You are not going to be able to do what you have to do in order to have a successful trading plan, okay? And so when I'm coming to the charts fresh, if I notice for the day I'm not fresh, if I notice I'm not stoked, I'm not excited to be here, I take that day off. And I recommend people do the same because however good, you could be the best trader in the world, but at the end of the day, psychology still plays a role. And when you're in a negative mood, it will make it harder for you to keep emotions out of the trading. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so identify, how am I feeling today? Am I feeling fresh? Am I excited to be here? If the answer is yes, then this is a very important routine that I recommend everybody have, which is when you're doing your technical analysis, when you're coming to the charts, you need to look for the same things in the same order every single day. This will keep you from missing something. Now, when I am coming to the charts, what I do is I look at the technical analysis that I had for the previous day, for the previous week. Okay, so for a long time now, I've been having this trading plan. Coming to the VIP Discord, this is a plan I've had since last week. I wanted Bitcoin to reject from this area, 43.8, and come down and get a bounce between 41-ish, where we have a daily level, and 42.1-ish. Right? That has been my plan. And so it was very easy for me to come to the charts and identify right away previous areas of support and resistance. So I was looking for Bitcoin to reject from around this level, which it did, and I wanted to short it down, which, by the way, I'm still in the short. I'm still in multiple shorts. I want to short it down to this zone down here where I want to potentially build a swing low, right? And so I already have analysis from previous days and previous weeks where I know these are key areas that I'm looking for trades, right? I was looking to short here, I'm looking to long from here, and I already know, according to my plan, this is what I'm looking for, right? This is what I'm looking for. So it's important that you keep previous analysis on your chart. But then what you have to do is you have to say, okay, based on the TA that I already have on my chart, and by the way, if you want to join the VIP Discord where we give trade setups in advance, multiple live streams, like this one right here, where, you know, sometimes I do give live trade setups in Discord on YouTube, which I did for this stream right here. In fact, right here, I was looking for basically the plan that I just showed you. I was looking for this. I was looking to come up here, reject, and then bounce from this area, right around this area where we're currently bouncing from right now, right? If you want to join the Discord, we have a great community here. You can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. But once you come to the charts and you identify your previous analysis, then you have to go through the order of acquiring the levels for that day. Okay, so what I like to do, and this could look different for everybody, is first I like to look at market Cipher on the 4-hour and identify what is happening here. I can see that as we're coming down to the area, we are getting bullish divergences on the 4-hour time frame, which, you know, is really the plan that I was looking for, right? I've been talking about it on my public and private YouTube for a long time now. I want to see bullish divs on the 4-hour time frame as we come here. So I'm getting an idea of market sentiment, all right? Are we more bullish or bearish? Then I'm going to be looking for horizontal levels of support and resistance, right? So I'm going to be going to the daily time frame. I'm going to be going to the weekly time frame to see, do we have any new fresh levels to be aware of, right? I can see we do have some support right down here. I can see we have some resistance right up here, and you're going to mark out those levels. And then what I like to do, I will look to see if we have any anything on the TPO chart, anything on a sessions chart, anything on the order flow chart that would give me a juicy level to look for, right? And then I put those on the chart. Then I like to pull fibs, right? And I do this in the same order every single day, right? And if you want to learn how to do this, if you want to learn how to have a plan, check out jasoncaspertrading.com. This course will give you the knowledge and the skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, to give you a clear point A to point B, step-by-step system, so that you always have a plan in advance, so that you know what you are looking to do. Okay, there's a 25% discount in the description. Also, if you want to learn how to trade using TPO, Orderflow, me and Boyan in the Discord, we put together a course. You can check that out as well. There's a 15% discount in the description. But you have to do the same thing in the same order every day, because if not, what's going to happen is you're going to miss something. You're going to miss something. So define your order of operations for doing your TA, and then plan for multiple scenarios, right? So, you know, for example, many times and many days, if we do come into the potential trade setups here, right? I have multiple scenarios. So I will say, you know, today I'm looking to take this long, and I'm looking to take these two shorts. Okay, I'm planning for multiple scenarios, and I'm outlining the confirmations I want to see, right? And so when price comes to a level that we're looking for, like it did right here, we came down to this line, we got our bounce right from that retest of the value area high. You know, right away we can enter the trade and get our profits, right? Planning for multiple scenarios, regardless of what happens, you always have a plan. Now, the next thing that's very important is make plans and then set alerts for your day, because I'm about to get into something else, time management, because I don't just sit at the computer and trade all day, right? I am a very busy guy. I'm a homesteader. Right now, there's a lot of things going on, right? I'm out in the field. I'm out on tractors. I'm driving trucks with my chickens. I'm spreading hay out in the field. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm doing. And I don't have time to sit there at the chart every day, all day, every day. So what I do is I will just set alerts and say, okay, if I'm looking to take a trade from, let's say, down here, I'm going to set an alert when price is coming down there so that regardless of what I'm doing, I can just take a look at the chart and see, do I have my confirmations as we're coming to that level? And that brings me to the next thing, which is time management, okay? Personally, I found that obsessing over trading can be counterproductive. If you hit a few good trades, it might be time to stop for the day. If you don't hit any trades, it might be time to stop for the day. If you take a loss, it might be time to stop. Now, here's usually how I do it. I might be trading for an hour or two a day, where I'm actively looking for scalps and or day trades. And, you know, I'll be scalping on smaller time frames. And sometimes if I hit a few good scalps for the day, all right, I'm done for the day, right? I made my fake paper money, because this is not financial advice, paper trading only. I'm done for the day. Or if I don't get any trades in that time, I say, okay, I'm done for the day. I'm done looking at the charts and sitting here looking for trades for the day. If I take a loss, I'm always done for the day if I take a loss. That's my rule. But sometimes you'll find, and this has been the case for me, if you take a loss and you sit there and you keep trying to force trades, you're going to lose more. If you can't find a good trade and you try and force it, you're going to lose. If you have a few wins and you get overconfident, now you're trying to force every little move, you're going to take a loss. You have to know when to stop obsessing. But then this is very important, right? Designate time to trade. If you have a job and you can only trade a few hours a day, designate that time to look for trades, for scalping and day trading. And then other than that, don't obsess over the charts. Now, here are the exceptions. Okay, here are the exceptions. When it comes to the bigger moves, when it comes to the juicier levels that you were looking for, right? For example, you know, for me, I've been waiting for this current level that we're at right now for a very long time. I've been waiting for it for a very long time. I've been drawing out the plans and stuff. And so you can set your alerts, and then regardless of what you're doing in that day, if you know what confirmations you're looking for, then you can be on the farm, you could be at work, you could be with the kids, you could be out with your wife, and you simply just open your phone. You have the plan in your head, you have the scenario, you already know where your stop loss should go, you already know what leverage you should use. You enter the trade, and then you forget about it, right? Because you've already done the work in advance. You already know what you're looking for on Market Cipher. Okay, so that's the exception, right? But other than that, if you're scalping, if you're day trading, you need to designate time for it. If you're a full-time scalper, great. Then do that 8 hours a day and then stop, right? You have to set aside time for other things, right? The trades will always be there. God is number one. Family is number two. Other work is number three, okay? It's very important to make time for other work. Myself, being an entrepreneur, having worked for myself, owning businesses since 2013, I think, is when I started my first official business. I've had other unofficial ones before then, right? Going all the way back to school where I used to sell candy. But anyway, you know, you have to make time for other things that are important in your life, because if you don't, you'll find yourself on a slippery slope to being stressed out, underslept, and having a whole bunch of things that need to be done. You're going to find yourself slacking in other areas of life, because trading can be very, very addictive, because it can become a dopamine addiction. Even just looking at charts can become a dopamine addiction, right? Like normal people check Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I check the charts, right? Normal people addicted to dopamine, they go take a pee at the urinal, and what do? They open up their Facebook, right? They open up their Instagram, right? I don't have that stuff. What do I do when I'm taking a pee? I check the charts, right? And you got to be careful, because if you don't set aside time and say enough is enough, this is where I'm doing it, this is where I'm not doing it, you are going to find yourself in a position where you are very, very out of balance. And so you need to designate the time for actively doing technical analysis, looking for trades, and then you need to designate time for not doing that unless you already made a certain plan, and then that plan comes to fruition. You open your phone, you see your confirmations, you enter the trade from your phone, okay? It's very important to make time for other work. And this is something that I really struggled with, and I still do. I struggle with time management, but when I make sure that I'm sticking to my time management, my life is so much better. There are always going to be a million things to do, and there's always going to be an endless amount of trades to take. There's always going to be DMs to answer in Discord. There's always going to be emails to answer from people. There's always going to be work to do out in the homestead. There's always going to be so many things. You're never going to finish everything. You never will. And so you have to set and determine and understand within yourself, you're never going to finish everything. So you need to designate times to do certain things, and then you will get everything done in time, instead of getting only one thing done and everything else standing by the wayside. Okay? Now, these things for me, right? Basically, routine and time management have been very, very powerful things to get my life in order. And it all starts with the spiritual foundation and having routines, right? Being in the proper mindset. And honestly, it extends into even other areas of life. Diet for me is very important. Sleep for me is very important. You know, those, I'm not, they go beyond the scope of this video, but things that you can do to put yourself into these first three things, right? Spiritual, mental, and physical. The better you can get these things, spiritual, mental, and physical, in that order, I would say too. Spiritual is first, then mental, then physical. Then these other things can flow from that, all right? And so I hope you found this video helpful, guys. I hope you did. If you want to join the Discord, patreon.com/Jason Casper. The trading course, jasoncaspertrading.com. There's a link to the Exocharts course also in the description with a 15% discount. And yeah, let me know what you think, guys, in the comments down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. God bless everybody. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.